Kelvin Blunt, and this is Str8 No Chaser. Every week we look at real stories behind male sexuality, how culture shapes it, how power polices it, and how men learn to hide or reveal who they are. If you haven't already, follow the podcast, share it, rate it, and subscribe to my Substack for the essays that live behind each episode. You'll find the link and the full essay for this one in the show notes. Today, I want to talk about why I created Str8 No Chaser in the first place. It started with a comment in a blog. Someone who presumably was gay insisted only bottoms get rimmed. I said, that's not a rule. He doubled down like he was quoting scripture. And I thought, this is why I created Str8 No Chaser, because even inside queer spaces, we build new commandments without checking with each other. Rules that sound holier than thou, but mostly hide fear and show limitations. Queer isn't a religion. It's a reality. And I wanted a place where we could talk about sex without shame or performance, without having to ask permission to be complex. Labels give comfort. They also flatten us. Straight, gay, bi, queer. They're maps that help us find community, but they aren't the territory. When I started writing, I realized more and more that our maps had borders built from fear and willful ignorance. Quote-unquote, gays don't watch football. Straight guys don't get rimmed. There's no such thing as a bisexual man. They're just on the road to being gay. Willfully ignorant things that we say, we turn desire into citizenship tests. I wanted Str8 No Chaser to be a country with open borders. Part of why this matters to me is who I am. Black, gay, neurodivergent, all the hyphens society tries to shrink into one line. Being different has always meant decoding the room. Figuring out which version of me was allowed to speak taught me to notice this. ADHD taught me to notice the edges of things, to see the exceptions as the rules. That's what Str8 No Chaser is about. The edge is where the truth lies. Fell in love with the messy overlap between sex and story, how religion and patriarchy distort masculinity, whatever that actually is, right? And how race and class shape who gets to be desired and who gets to be disposable. My writing isn't about outing people. It's about the complexities. It's about the context, the nuance. Why straight identified men in gay erotica matter to gay porn history. Why Kinsey never asked about sexual orientation. He asked about why scientists still can't quantify what we refuse to look at honestly. The data is there, hiding in plain sight. It always has been. You just haven't, right? The data is there, hiding in plain sight. We just haven't been willing to look at it without flinching. Growing up black and gay meant seeing myself in very few places. And when I did, the story was usually tragic or taboo. Queer spaces, I was sometimes too black. In black spaces, too queer. In professional spaces, too outspoken. And in every space, expected to edit my mind, my being, so I didn't make people uncomfortable. Str8 No Chaser became the place I could exist unedited and help others see that truth isn't rude, it's restorative. When I say the exceptions are the rules, I mean this. The stories we hide are the ones that explain everything. Soldiers throughout centuries of history around the world who turned to sex work because military pay was insultingly low. The straight identified performers who entered gay porn and found connection or conflict or both. The men in locker rooms of barracks who blur the lines between intimacy and survivor. These aren't footnotes, they're front lines. And they're coming to you more in season 2 of Str8 No Chaser. About seeing the whole picture, behavior, identity, race, religion, class, and neurodiversity all woven together. The goal is simple, to reveal the truth behind what we turned into taboo. Thank you for listening to Str8 No Chaser. If you've enjoyed season 1, share it with someone who needs a conversation without filters. Follow the podcast wherever you listen and subscribe to my Substack for the essays, links, and future updates. In season 2, we'll dig deeper into the history of quote-unquote gay for pay, the eroticism of military life, and what happens when identity meets economy. I'm Kelvin Blunt, and this is Str8 No Chaser. I'll see you soon.